I'm having a chat with Billie Marten. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, great stuff. We've been playing a new single of yours called Feeling. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
Well, it was the first song that was written for the record, so it very much marked a change for me. Um, it is a song that talks about childhood memories and the feeling of nostalgia and how that can kind of carry with you throughout adulthood. There's a lot of dad stuff in there. It's um it's a song that I'm very fond of. It gives me a nice feeling.
Good, good. And that is off your new record, Dog Eared. What can we expect to hear on the record when it comes out in July?
You can expect to hear some fantastic production by my friend Phil Weinrobe, along with a plethora of outstanding musicians. There's quite a lot of us on the record, so it's very much a band feel. And it's all live. We recorded it live with no headphones, so we are all in the room together as one. I'd say it's a very fluid record.
Nice, nice. And the sound that you've made with this record, is it the sound you wanted, or is it kind of how it turned out in the studio?
Came out a disaster. Um, it's a sound that I never knew I could make, because I had not met such amazing collaborators before. So it feels very new and fresh for me, but very much still tied to my songwriting roots, and
Mm.
it's just more of an expansion, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, nice. And I'm sure you wrote more than what made it onto this record. What happens to those now? Do you consider them again for later down the line, or are you going to bin them off and start again, do you think?
Um, I think once a song doesn't make it on the record, I'm convinced that it should never see the light of day. If we didn't choose it then why don't we? Why would we choose it later? However, there's always a couple of songs ever since the first record or the second record that I've been trying to get onto each album, and they still haven't made it. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe record number six will be their time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And as mentioned now, five records in, how has the music evolved since the start in 2016 when the first one came out through until now?
Well, it's evolved with 10 years of living and becoming a person.
Mhm.
I think your first record is a just a really nice bookmark of it's sort of a document of someone trying to do something that they have no experience of. I think everyone's debut record carries just a lot of sentimentality and trial and error and sort of a free pass to make something without judgment because nobody's heard anything else.
Mm.
So the sound, I think it always will feel new to me as each record arrives, and yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
really sure how else to answer that
No,
question.
no, all good. And I like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
Um, well, I'm a very spontaneous writer. I can't wake up and plan to write a song because
Mhm.
ultimately I will fail, and I can't look at it as a business model, as a job. So it's really just a very intuitive feeling. I will pick up the guitar and accidentally play something, or there'll be a sort of motif in my head, or someone will say something, and I guess that's the job of a writer is just to very quickly capture what's happening in the moment. So yeah, it's a very spontaneous happening.
Yeah, yeah. And when it comes to the lyrics as well, are they pretty straightforward to add to the music you create, or can it be a challenge at times?
Oh, deeply challenging. Yeah, there's always words that you want to squeeze into lines that don't want to fit. And there's a sort of tactfulness that you have to go about writing with, not to be too obtuse. And it depends how poetic you're feeling on the day, or if you're feeling pretty matter of fact straight down the line. And I appreciate both sides of songwriting. I think they are equally as powerful.
Hmm. Yeah, no, yeah, I certainly agree. And luckily, the people of the world get to hear you playing these tracks live because you're heading out on tour from middle of May throughout the year, basically. I bet you can't wait to be doing some shows again.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time, even though it certainly hasn't. But I'm very ready to go on tour. I think there's a really good feeling in the air about shows this year, and actually getting to spend a lot of time in the States despite what's been happening. I feel it's important not to ignore them.
Hmm.
And the arts and culture is kind of all we've got. So it feels like a very good time for music, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And North America, Europe, and here in the UK as well is kind of the dates you've got booked in at the moment. Is there anywhere else you want to get to at some point?
I was talking about this with a friend the other day. I would love to play in India. If you can organise that, that would be great.
Or anyone listening, of course.
For anyone listening, India would be great. Of course, Brazil. Yeah, South America would be very cool. And then also, I've actually never played in Iceland,
Okay.
which is a bit of me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can well imagine. And obviously mostly touring throughout this year because there's a load of dates booked in, but are you hoping to get back in the studio at some point or is it just going to be a touring year?
I've just come out. They've
Yeah.
just let me out. Um, I have a few projects this year, a few creative, mysterious projects, but ultimately I've got, I think, something like 90 shows to do, which will lead me into Christmas. So yeah, I will see what can come out of me in between playing.
Yeah. Nice. Billy, it's been a pleasure having a catch up with you.
Yeah, you too.